This evening, double house fire disaster leaves 20 homeless. GRDB urges rice farmers to comply with EU pesticide limits. Top Cop urges the public to stop illegal road blockages and intimidation. In the region, Chile wildfires spread as death toll rises. And internationally, killing of YouTube star by her father causes outrage in Iran. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, residents of St. Cuthbert's Mission are left in shock as police investigate a fatal incident involving hire car HC2281 owned and driven by Raul Daniels, a 27-year-old resident of St. Cuthbert's Mission, and now deceased pedestrian 54-year-old Paul Daniels of St. Cuthbert's Mission scheme. Inquiries disclosed that on the evening of Friday, February 3rd, around 9:30 p.m., the car was proceeding east along St. Cuthbert Mission Scheme Road at an alleged rate of speed of about 15 to 20 kilometers and drove over the pedestrian Paul Daniels, who was at the time lying on the road. The driver drove away but immediately returned to the scene after other passengers informed him that he had run over the pedestrian. Daniels was picked up and taken to the St. Cuthbert Mission Health Center, where he was seen and examined by a doctor. He was, however, transferred to the Mackenzie Public Hospital, where he was further seen and examined and was pronounced dead on arrival. The body is presently lying at the Mackenzie Hospital mortuary awaiting a post-mortem examination. A breathalyzer test was conducted on the driver, which was below the prescribed alcohol limit. The driver is in custody assisting with the ongoing investigation. In other news, the Guyana Fire Service received two separate calls about two fires that occurred on Friday, February 3rd and Saturday, February 4th, leaving 20 persons homeless. On Friday, the fire service was alerted to a fire at Grove Public Road, East Bank Demerara around 2:34 a.m. A two-story wooden and concrete building which housed 4 families was destroyed in the fire. The cause of the fire is believed to be a malicious act by an unknown person or persons. As a result of the fire, 13 people were left homeless. And on Saturday, the fire service received another call about a fire at Public Road, Agricola, East Bank Demerara. A one-flat wooden and concrete building was destroyed in the fire and was at the time occupied by Bibi Mohammed and her family of 7. The fire was caused by a faulty electrical wiring, which resulted in arcing and sparking, igniting nearby combustible materials and spreading to the entire building. 3 other homes owned by Bibi Mohammed were also affected by the blaze of the fire. The Guyana Fire Service continues to encourage citizens to equip their homes with smoke detectors and fire extinguishers and adhere to the safety measures to protect their homes and loved ones from fire emergencies. In a statement just in from the Guyana Police Force, Acting Commissioner of Police Clifton Hicken is appealing to members of the public to desist from unlawful acts such as blocking roads, burning tires, and disrupting traffic flow, while simultaneously intimidating and robbing commuters and the traveling public. The Commissioner's appeal came in the wake of 2 recent incidents, one at Buxton, East Coast Demerara on Wednesday, February 1st, and the other last evening, Sunday, February 5th at Hopetown, West Coast, Berbice. The 2 incidents saw persons burning tires and other debris and setting vehicles alight as they resorted to blocking the roadways and preventing the smooth flow of traffic. Commissioner Hicken made it clear that this type of behavior is unlawful and will not be tolerated. He said those held accountable would face the full brunt of the law, and there would be a zero-tolerance approach from the Guyana Police Force to ensure that law and order are maintained throughout the country. Stick around when we return. GRDB urges rice farmers to comply with EU pesticide limits, and OPEC expects Ghana to increase crude output by more than 90,000 barrels per day for 2023.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Give your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Welcome back. President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali recently visited Palmyra in Region 6 to inspect the construction site of a business center for differently abled persons and a call center. During his visit, the president emphasized that the business center will be built to international standards and fully accessible for persons with disabilities. The center will feature ramps and other helpful accessories, including horticulture stations where fresh flowers can be grown. The call center, which is expected to have a capacity of over 200 persons per shift, will create hundreds of jobs in the region. President Ali also announced that the government is considering setting up a government call center system that will deal with government issues and complaints and will also cater to differently abled persons. This initiative by the government to support and provide job opportunities to differently abled persons is a step towards creating an inclusive society. In other developments, according to the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries' January monthly oil market report, Ghana expects to add approximately 90,000 barrels of crude oil per day to its existing output. This will boost Ghana's 2023 output by 32 million barrels over the 101 million barrels produced by ExxonMobil operated projects in 2022. Ghana is one of 7 non-OPEC producers, along with the United States, Norway, Brazil, Canada, Kazakhstan, Mexico, and Russia, that will be essential drivers of the supply expansion of crude oil globally. These 7 countries are forecasted to add a total of 1.54 million barrels per day. The Palmyra project in Guyana is slated to produce its first oil this year. The Prosperity floating production, storage, and offloading vessel is scheduled to arrive in Guyana this quarter and create around 220,000 barrels of oil at peak. The government expects average offshore production to be 374,000 barrels per day. This rise in oil production is expected to fuel the 25.1% economic growth predicted by the government for 2023. On a different note, the Guyana Rice Development Board has issued an advisory urging rice farmers to comply with maximum residue limits for various pesticides set by the European Union. The European Union is Guyana's largest rice export market, with 48% and 46% of the country's rice sold to the EU in 2021 and 2022 respectively. The Guyana Rice Development Board stated that one of the biggest challenges for the rice industry in Guyana is the damage caused by insect pests, mainly the paddy bug or sticky bug. Farmers often use insecticides to control these pests, which can result in pesticide residue in rice grains and threaten human health and the environment. To protect the primary rice market and ensure the safety of consumers, the Guyana Rice Development Board advises farmers to implement the Integrated Pest Management Program and only use recommended pesticides according to guidelines. The European Union has set maximum residue limits for different pesticides to mitigate the threat posed by pesticide residue. As such, the GRDB urges farmers to protect their crops and the European Union market by strictly adhering to the guidelines and recommendations for pesticide use. Don't go away after the break. Killing of YouTube star by her father causes outrage in Iraq, and Chile wildfires spread as death toll rises.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Cab Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Give your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7 27558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Hey, this is your fancy vehicle and that is your house?
Yes, this is my vehicle and actually I'm waiting on my land. I'm actually renting this house for $50,000.
$50,000? You head boy, you crazy, you mad, you head no good. Why you buy? Look, let me show you the light. Come with me.
Come on down to Fabulous Homes today. Pay $50,000 every month for 36 months or until you reach 50% of your house costs. Move in after 75% of the cost has been paid.
This is wonderful. Let's go. Sign me up.
All right, let me go and dash you your landlord.
To explore our home ownership program, check our Facebook page for more information or come down to our office at Avalon Friendship.
Hey, Chinese, thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
You got through?
Yes.
Call us at 227-1380 or 615-8740. Fabulous Homes International Realty, changing tenants into homeowners.
At Fabulous Homes, we bring your dreams to life.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. At least 23 people have died in hundreds of forest fires in Chile. Nearly 1,000 people have been injured as a blistering heat wave is complicating efforts to control the blazes. Al Jazeera's Kulsum Sharif reports.
Fast-spreading fires burn everything in their path. Forest, farms and homes. 2,300 firefighters have been deployed to control hundreds of wildfires. Nearly half of them are burning out of control.
We are working on multiple sources of forest fires that, added to the weather, high temperatures and a lot of wind, have caused great destruction, both in vegetation and buildings.
The fires began on Wednesday, destroying nearly 100,000 acres of land. Helicopters have been deployed, but too late to save some dozens of homes. More than 1,000 people are staying in shelters.
I left my house with only the clothes I was wearing. There was no time to set up a fire break, nothing. I think everyone here went through the same situation. The wind speed changed very fast, and everything suddenly started to burn. It was all very fast.
Chile's government is now seeking international support.
We have spoken to several governments to reinforce the efforts that were previously being made with the companies that provide the services. These requests include the search for equipment to bolster the fleet of brigades that can reinforce the work on the ground. We are in contact with several countries in the region, such as Brazil, Argentina and Uruguay.
President Gabriel Boric cut short his summer vacation, his government extending a state of disaster. It allows the military to mobilize to help battle the fires as the number of dead continues to rise. Kulsum Sharif, Al Jazeera.
Internationally, the death of a young YouTube star at the hands of her father has sparked outrage in Iraq, where women are murdered often by their male relatives in family disputes.
These protesters in the Iraqi capital are demanding justice for the killing of a young Iraqi YouTube star, Tiba Al-Ali. She was strangled by her father in the southern city of Diwaniyah on Tuesday. The attack is being described as a so-called honor killing. Tiba Al-Ali had reportedly left her home in Iraq and was living in Turkey against her family's wishes.
We want laws to criminalize domestic violence. The state must guarantee our safety when we report domestic violence. We've submitted many proposals to the government, but they've all gone unheeded.
Tiba returned to her hometown after her mother reportedly asked her to come back. Activists have launched a campaign on social media with the hashtag Tiba's Riot. They're demanding a change to Iraq's laws, which they say give light sentences to defendants charged with similar crimes.
The parliament is to blame for this because it's the legislative body that issues laws to criminalize violence against women. But the parliament itself is a male-dominated body, partly based on tribal considerations. That's part of the problem.
According to activists, the victim went to the Interior Ministry for help, but it is not clear if she received any assistance at all. In a conservative and patriarchal society like Iraq, activists say there are no effective laws to protect women from domestic violence. There is also no clear mechanism to provide shelter for women trying to escape abuse. So many cases like Tiba Al-Ali go unreported. Mahmoud Abdul Wahid, Al Jazeera, Baghdad.
And finally, Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky has said he expects a major Russian offensive in the coming weeks. In his nightly address, Zelensky said Moscow is increasing pressure on several fronts ahead of the first anniversary of the war on February 24th. Al Jazeera's Zain Bashravi reports.
Ukrainian soldiers defending Bakhmut enter the fray knowing they are outnumbered. And more Russian fighters are on the way. Bakhmut is the major flashpoint on the Eastern Front right now. Ukraine's president has promised he won't let the city fall without a fight. But Volodymyr Zelensky may also be preparing his people for a worst-case scenario.
In the course of 346 days of this war, I often had to say that the situation at the front was tough, and that the situation was becoming tougher. It is once again that time.
Ukraine's army says it gunned down as many as 200 Russian mercenaries from the Wagner group in a recent attack. But Russian forces are gaining ground as they push to surround the city. The worry for Kyiv now, Russia could be close to successfully cutting off the main highway into the city, currently Ukraine's main supply line. That could be a decisive moment in the battle for Bakhmut. Russian missiles are also hitting more civilian targets along the Eastern Front. Airstrikes in Kharkiv hit a university and a residential block.
There was a strong blast and everything happened so quickly. We were saved by the furniture that fell on us. Because of that, we are alive.
She's only lived in Kharkiv a few months, homeless and displaced for a second time during this war. The siege of Bakhmut has emptied out the city, but some refuse to leave, seeking refuge in prayer.
I know there is a chance I might die. Last night a shell flew into my garden. All the windows were blown out. A bullet flew into my house this morning. It could have hit me in the head. Our life is fleeting. We will die in any case, whether now or in 20-30 years. It is not important. The main thing is how I present myself to God.
I pray for our country, for our Ukraine, for my children, for my family, for all Ukrainians, for all I pray.
But will Ukrainian lines remain as unbreakable as their faith? Both likely to be tested in coming days as Russian forces escalate their campaign for Bakhmut. Zain Basravi, Al Jazeera, Kyiv.
This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. This concludes today's Headline News Update. Tune in tomorrow, Tuesday at 7 p.m. with our next broadcast. For more news and updates, you can visit our Facebook and YouTube pages. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.